Hey Leos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be taking a look at your upcoming Imbolc season of February through March up until the spring equinox. If you're in the southern hemisphere, then just flip it and reverse it and back it up because you're in Llama's season. So similar but counter energies to the two. So let's talk about your meditation. I immediately saw an image of the Ace of Pentacles, and then I saw like a scarab beetle come and sit on top of it, and the Ace of Pentacles became a charging port. So it was like the scarab beetle was like a cell phone that was being placed on the charging point that is the Ace of Pentacles, and I saw it start to vibrate like charging, charging, charging. And then I saw an image. I was like under the northern lights in a very icy place, and I saw this sort of like above ground bunker that was kind of run on solar power. It was like a self sustaining system and self sustaining home. And it felt like an intense work environment where someone goes and just does a bunch of work in this place that runs itself, and you don't really need to go to the outside for anything, right? It felt like that kind of setup. And I saw the entire, sort of home sort of vibrate. It was like it was charging, 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 like it was a charging point. And I got the sense that you, as the Leo collective, were inside of this place, focusing, working. It was like everything else around you in nature was quiet and snowy and, not really wanting to, it wasn't a very active environment nature wise, right? Everything was quite still. But you inside of this place were just like vibrating and charging and going and working, right? And then I saw this shift happen where I was taken to actually not the spring equinox, right? But actually past that. And I was shown Beltane, which is May 1st, around the beginning of May, May 1st. And I saw it was only then that door to that self-sustaining work pod slash home opened up, and I saw you guys walk through. And then it was like, it was like the spring going towards summer at that point. And I saw that the water that had been frozen over was now warm and blue because it was all by a lake, right? Like this frozen lake. And then I saw you jump in. And as you did, this enormous blue whale was underneath you and rose up to where you were lying on your back on top of this whale. And it was kind of acting as a, funnily enough, like a blue whale is like a floaty for you. like it was really beautiful and a really beautiful image. And I saw that as you lie there, it was like, oh, now I can finally be on vacation. I can finally just be here. I saw all of these things start to flow towards you on the water and sort of surround you as you lied there. And I got the feeling that they were all things that you had worked towards, like during this very intense sort of focus period. And now they were coming back to you. Like the seeds that you have sown were actually bearing fruit and coming to you in the rest time, in the play time, in the recreational time with this whale. Now, whale is interesting because whale is a Queen of Cups energy, and your animal for this time period is the peacock, which is King of Cups. So really interesting water energy here for you. I do get this sense for you, Leo, that, because you have rosemary bread here for your Imbolc oracle. Number 35, it says, share and commune with the ones who mean the most to you. Break bread with the spirit of rosemary, which will call for healing and mend. So it's really interesting, this aspect of healing and recharging. This oracle is also very much about your relationships, which is in part relationship to yourself. But I feel like there's some heart healing or some relationship healing that wants to come up for you. And I think it's part of the reason why I was seeing you sort of locked away from the world in a certain sense, and really focusing on work or focusing on, things that you can control or things that, will benefit from your focus during this time, feels accurate to say. So rosemary is also about remembrance, right? That's what we use that for is remembrance. And I do feel like there's this aspect here of, oh, I just feel in my heart, I feel in my feeling center, I just feel like there's some old stuff here, some old pain or some old memories that just want to come up for healing. I'm seeing an image of the Six of Pentacles, which is reciprocity, it's give and take. I do feel like there are some partnerships, whether business, personal, or both, that have really sort of done a bit of work in there where it's kind of, I'm seeing an image of the Six of Pentacles, but it's a lot more on one side than the other. People either asking more of you than they were willing to give themselves, you giving yourselves really freely and fully to something, but finding that it wasn't really reciprocated in kind. There's something around that coming up that wants to be healed and brought back into balance for you. And it's only when you do that, by lying on the back of the whale or lying on your back on a whale, like you do, that Six of Pentacles can come into greater balance for you, right? Because until you're able to balance your emotional experiences around your partnerships, it feels like you're going to continue to contract things that are imbalanced. It really feels partnership based. You know, Peacock is also very much about being seen, right? But it's about inner and outer beauty. It's about clairvoyance. It's about sight. But it is very much about allowing yourselves to be seen and be in public. Now, as a Leo, that is somewhat within your wheelhouse, right? In terms of, being the lion and being willing to find your light and stay within it. But it does feel like there's something internally within you that really wants to be, and I'm getting the sense of like worked on during this time. So anything that comes up for you during this time that feels uncomfortable or unsatisfied, follow that thread. That is really good information for you. It's like this idea of divine dissatisfaction or divine sadness where it's there for a reason. It's there because it's coming from your personal compass going, hey, look at this more. Follow this feeling. Don't submerge it. Don't look away don't introduce fire to it and try to burn it or transform it. Introduce water to it. Feel it fully because there's something in that for you that wants to be shifted so that you can be a energetic match for what you actually want, that is reciprocal, that is balanced, that is right for you at this time. Now, your challenge is 10 of Swords. Okay, a bit on the nose. Let's go there. So it's interesting, y'all, because you've got Rosemary Red, which is about remembrance and the past, and then you've got 10 of Swords, which is cycles that have closed in a really difficult or, surprising, not like a good surprise way. Right? Look at this poor bloody pigeon in Paris. I have a shiver. This is Paris, and we have this pigeon that the sword through it. It really feels like, because when I think about Paris, I think about like that's the city of love, right? Well, I mean, I know this is like a topic of debate, but that's its reputation anyway. It's a city of love. So I do feel like there's something here around the past that affected your heart, whether it was romantic or even business, loving something or an opportunity that you really got burned on or that didn't go your way. There's something around the heart that wants to be mended around this. And this is a challenge. It's like, how can I really let go of what's been? How can I forgive myself and forgive everybody? That's okay. Now, in your place of victory, it's really nice. You've got Four of Pentacles with the squirrel here, right? So this is fascinating because the Four of Pentacles is about sitting tight and right. It's not about moving forward or backwards. It's about understanding that you need to plant those seeds, right? And then wait for them to grow, right? And then you nurture them. And look at the sun coming down here from the trees. The fact that this is your victory really means that you're using this time well to me, but it also means that you're operating within the season's directives, right? Because this is a time of year where we're being called to stillness, to look towards a time where things are going to blossom and bloom for us personally, also in our environment. It's an interesting one here too with the Four of Pentacles because the four is the number of foundations, right? So there's something about securing your foundation so that you can move forward, prepared and ready, like squirrel energy teaches us to be for all that is coming. Because there is a lot coming that feels like it's going to require a lot of your energy and a lot of your heart space in a good way, in a very good way. But if your heart is still, so remember that like cell phone port that's charging? If your heart is still needing to heal from things that have already passed and gone, right, then it doesn't have the same capacity to go towards the new that's coming in. So it's like half of a heart or half of a heart's energy, right? There's something about that. Look at what hurts. Look at what you can't bear to think about or remember. I know that sounds really intense, but that's what's coming up for you this Imbolc, right? And you can also welcome in Bridie, Bridget. She is the lady of this season. She's the goddess of this season. She helps heal us. She is the goddess of the home and hearth. You call in, you ask for her help here, and it's really just an energy thing, right? Regardless of your belief system, it's really just going, I want to align with this particular energy so that I can relight the spark within myself from the eyes of before I was ever hurt, right? Because she's made an energy before I was ever hurt, before I ever knew loss, before, right? When you were young, right? And you're being called to return to that energy, not just in sentiment, but also through your actions, your outlook, and in your overall, energetic field so that you can attract that newness, right? It's beautiful. I'm hearing that saying like beginner's luck. It's like you're being asked to return back to that place where the slate was clean and anything was possible. Now, in your place of advice, you have the Page of Wands. So this is, the only fire placement that we have for you fire signs, which is what? The kid energy. So it's really interesting with the Page of Wands. This is also about courage, having courage, also about writing as well. Spending more time writing, having your faith built or lit a bit around your writing skills. In order to be a good writer, you have to first know yourself very well and already have found your voice. And then you continue to find it. You continue to sculpt it as you write. But there is something here around this, around having courage, putting yourself out there and allowing yourself to really light that flame that will grow into something bigger, right? Because you guys as fire signs, it really feels like you're being asked to just, allow everything to be extinguished that wants to be extinguished with the Ten of Swords, and then allow yourself to nurture it through Four of Pentacles so that it grows into something here with the Page of Wands. And it feels like new beginnings, newness, new potential, new opportunities that are going to stretch you out of your comfort zone in a really good way. Now, your outcome here is stunning. It's 9 of fungi, which is, which is 9 of mushrooms. It's 9 of pentacles here. It's really stunning. So this is about, look at this lusciousness. This is really about feeling really good on your own 2 feet. It's loving your sense of independence, loving yourself and the work that you do, and loving the work that you do in yourself. But it's also that feeling of, no matter what may or may not happen in my outer given circumstances, in my physical experience, I know that I've got me and that I will always be okay, right? This is the opposite of, relying too much on others. This is the antidote to an imbalanced 6 of Pentacles. So the fact that this is coming through as your outcome is really stunning and really, really positive. This really shows a progression on your part of really building yourself up, creating your own garden. Look how it's like, with the 4 of Pentacles, it's planting the seed, and look at this abundance coming through as your outcome. It's like the seeds that, remember I saw you, like all of those things coming to you in the lake that you plant those seeds and the fruit was being born, right? So it really feels like there's something to that. And I do feel like I'm getting a special little tug around Beltane coming up for you in May. Even though technically this is looking at through the spring equinox in March, it does feel like there's a special little tap on the shoulder around May. Okay. But this is really, really stunning. Really, really stunning, Leos. I feel like, overall, it might not always be comfortable to balance our emotions and really look at what hurts, really look at what doesn't bear to think about, really look at the things that are hard to remember, right? But I do feel like with this peacock eye of the third eye and clairvoyance and also the King of Cups with the balancing of your emotions and emotional intelligence, this is all happening for a greater purpose so that you can be aligned to welcome in new things that are going to require 100% of your battery power in the best way possible. And you being willing to look at that stuff and heal it and let it go to balance in that 6 of Pentacles so that you can call in those reciprocal partnerships and relationships with yourself and others. That's what it's really all about. That is what's going to align you to what you actually want from a soul perspective. So it's stunning, Leo. It's really, really beautiful. So that being said, I so hope that this helps and resonates. I will be back with you with new other topical videos as well. I did just release the 2024 year ahead, so check those out if you haven't already. I will be back to look at the spring equinox time period as the wheel turns. And also, I would love to hear from you in the comments, Leo. You're one of those signs that I don't hear from as much in the comments. The views are a bit lower on your signs. I feel like most of my views are like Aquarius, but regardless if you're a Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever, let me know what's going on in the comments. How are you guys doing, my lovely lions? Let me know what's going on. I want to hear how this lands. I want to hear how you're feeling about the year ahead. Um, do you like rosemary bread? I don't know. Anything you want to drop me a line about in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And with that being said, just thank you so much for being here. And most of all, and as always, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.